Okay, so using the data that we've collected, we're going to build our dot plot up with a series of dots at the different points along the horizontal scale. And we'll end up with something that will look similar to this. Okay, so what we've got here now is we've got all the particular data that we've collected, and as you can see, generally, we've got a lot of dots at the 0 point, so our actual has actually equaled our promised. So the logistics company, on average, are doing pretty well really, as you can see by the number of dots there. However, what is apparent as well is that there are a number of cases where the delivery company has been either a day late or a day early, and in some cases, as many as 4 days early and as many as 4 days late. So what this dot plot gives us, it gives us a good indication of what we call our central tendency, generally referred to as either a mean or an average, but it also gives us a good indication of the spread of our data. And that's basically how much data we have either side of our middle or our average. We'll talk more about central tendency and spread later on in the course, but for the time being, it's just important to know that this dot plot has given us that indication or that idea of what we're looking at in terms of the spread and the central tendency of the data. Now, what else can we do with this? Well, again, it's a certain shape has been generated here. It's almost as if there's a kind of bell curve that you could draw across the entire data. Now, again, this is something called normality, and this tells us again how our data is represented and how our data is spread out. Don't worry too much about normality at this stage because, like central tendency and spread, we will deal with normality more further on in the course and later on in the measure phase. Okay, so now imagine the logistics company wants to look at this now and think, well, okay, what can we do about making this better? Well, straight away we can see that on average they're doing pretty much okay. So it would be these items here that they'd be looking to target. They'd be looking to maybe remove these and squeeze them back up. One other addition that you can make to a dot plot is a customer specification limit. Say, for example, the company had said, if we don't deliver to you on the day promised, we're allowed 1 day either side of that particular day. It's what we refer to as basically a tolerance. Now you can see here that if this is one spec limit and this is the other customer spec limit, on the whole, they're doing quite well. Most of the points that we've got on the dot plot fall within the -1 to +1 days. But there are still instances here where the logistics company has failed to meet that customer specification limit and those tolerances that have been set. This is where they would then focus their attention. So the dot plot's great for taking all that information and saying, where should we be targeting to try and make these improvements? How much out of specification are we at the moment, and what can we do to try and bring that in? So to review, a dot plot is a great visual illustrative way of taking a huge amount of data and putting it up on a graph so you can see how you're performing against your customer's target and also how you're performing from an average and a spread point of view.